Welcome to Class 4 of the Character Sheet course put on by the Guild of the Rose. To join live class sessions and a cohort to call your own, please visit us at guildoftherose.org. Up until now, we have been constructing a classic bug list, a list of all the problems in our lives that prevent us from being who we wish to be. This week comes the long-awaited moment where we turn this bug list into a feature list, the final form, you could say, of our character sheet. This consists of 3 sub-activities. Number 1 is naming our character. Number 2 is turning our bugs into features. And finally, prioritizing them so we know which ones to tackle first. For that first activity, naming your character, the word character here can be in reference to yourself, the individual in the future, the person you wish to be, or just a general name for that future. We are just trying to find a phrase or name that you can then use as a guiding star for motivation. Treat this with the solemnity that a wizard would treat choosing their wand. Have fun with this. Don't feel too constrained by particular naming conventions. You can choose some really cool name of a person or a more abstract word or phrase that encapsulates this type of future that you wish to have. The second part of this is turning all of your bugs into features. Now, this can be difficult depending on the bug in question, but the basic idea is we're going to flip all of our bugs and restate them as features to aspire to, goals to aspire to, and then state them in the present tense as something you already have. So to use an example, let's say I don't do laundry often enough. To flip that from a bug into a feature, we would say I do laundry X times per week or X times per day, whatever you need to do in order to have that bug a positive goal to aspire to. And we're also phrasing it in the present tense as something you already have. That way you're not constantly feeling like you're chasing it. It is a goal that you hope to acquire, that you can then check off, say, I have this feature. I am this person. This is me. Framing things as a form of identity can be very helpful when it comes to setting goals. If you have any particular questions about how a particular bug could be rephrased as a feature, and particularly in the present tense, feel free to reach out to me in the Guild Discord or during class. Or better yet, ask your cohort. So the third activity here is going to be where we assign values to each of these features that we have created on our character sheet. This is arguably the most important part of the course, next to actually articulating the bugs. So for each feature that you now have on your list, we're going to assign on a scale of 1 to 5 impact and solvability. So impact on a scale of 1 to 5 indicates how important it is that you solve this bug or acquire this feature. 1 means that it's not super impactful, doesn't affect your life a whole lot. 5 would be, this is of utmost importance. It affects me a lot. Now, once you've done that for all of your features, we are now going to assign on a scale of 1 to 5 solvability. Solvability is like the flipped version of difficulty. So a 1 on solvability would be extremely difficult to solve, like it's an existential problem or you have no idea where to even begin. And a 5 would be, I could probably solve this in like a day or less if I decided to, or put my mind to it. The particular criteria with which you assign the values 1 through 5 is less important than the relative difficulty and the relative solvability between all the bugs. features in this case. So once you have done all of this, you now have a list of goals, of features that your future self has, encapsulated by a name for that future. And you now have a prioritization system. The more impactful a goal is, the more important it is that you acquire it. And the more solvable it is, the higher priority it should be, because you can start reaping the benefits sooner. So this impact times solvability metric is going to be very important. You're going to take the two values you've assigned to each feature, and you're going to multiply them together, and that is the priority, the total priority for that particular feature. If you would like, I will be including a template for a Google Sheet, which includes an auto-sorting list for all these values. But feel free to use whatever system you'd like. So now that we have the character sheet, you now know what direction your self-improvement needs to take. You now know what to use all the guild classes to accomplish. You can now take your practical decision making and figure out how to go about solving these bugs. You can take our upcoming communications course and use those lessons in order to resolve some of your social bugs. Whatever skills you acquire, you now know how to start tackling your life problems and what to use your skills on. You also have a good idea now of who you are as a specific person. The guild's mission is not to mold you into a clone of a particular person. Our goal is to empower you to be the best version of you. We strongly believe that there is an amazing, highly effective person who can change the world living inside of you. But that does look different for every person. We look forward to seeing you develop, and I appreciate everything you've done in this class, and I look forward to seeing you in the guild.